Yo, 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 what is up, fam? This Wannabe Gangster realized they're going to jail.
With little regard for the law. But what happens when fake gangsters are faced with real prison time?
I don't want to go back to jail, no dumb
These
Bro, nobody wants to go to jail, guys. I mean, one person that wants to go to jail. Literally no one. Yeah, literally no one wants to go to jail, guys.
are three never-before-seen examples of when wannabe gangsters realizing they'll be serving prison time. Starting with the
For life, bro? He said for life. He forgot to mention that.
case of 18-year-old
That's quite a while.
Conrad Troja, who in September of 2010 was leaving school when he was approached by a man holding a handgun. Conrad was ordered to take off his bag and hand
It's probably not this guy that's going to jail. Because he's getting robbed.
it over.
So it's like, if you're getting robbed, that's like, you have you can basically use force to, prevent yourself from getting robbed.
But when he refused, he was shot in the chest by the man. Miraculously, Conrad managed to stumble away from the scene and call for help before collapsing and dying on the spot. The suspect fled immediately, but was later
Yeah, bro, come on now.
identified as Edtavion Wilcox, who was brought in for attempted murder. But as it turns out,
Hey, they caught him just like that, guys. They don't even say how they caught him. Oh yeah, the vehicle, obviously, sorry.
he wasn't all that tough in the interrogation room.
Alright, here's the deal.
Bro, think of the families, though, man. He just finished someone, like, he just really killed somebody, bro. That's not cool.
You know something
It's not cool whatsoever, right?
else happened. I don't sit here and talk to you without knowing what the deal is, alright? We've been talking to people, we've been interviewing people, we've been showing people pictures, we've been looking at video. I didn't bring you up here because you weren't wearing your seatbelt, okay? You got arrested for a burglary before and they didn't even bring you up here. Obviously, it's something a little more serious.
Wilcox is trying to remain calm and
Bro. They put me in the interrogation room once before, but stay silent, looks confused, though. They put me in there when I did, like, my charge, guys, which wasn't a bad charge. Not a hugely bad charge, but...
pretend as though he's got no idea what this is all about. Little does he know, his getaway driver had also been apprehended and confessed to everything. Now the detective
Dang, bro. You confessed to everything? I wonder if you agreed to a lesser charge for that, man. He snitched, bro. He snitched.
just has to find a way to get him to confess as well.
This is gonna go one of two ways. You're either gonna be a guy who made a mistake, hanging around the wrong place, the wrong time, did something dumb, or you're gonna be a guy that goes out and likes to shoot people for fun, okay? Listen, and before you say anything, I think you're a guy that made a mistake. I know you were there, okay? I know what happened. I've talked to the victim. The victims picked you out of a photo lineup and said, that's the guy that shot me, okay? Here's the
Yeah, bro. He's got a phone on his waist, but he ain't gonna have that one for much longer with what happened right here, guys.
deal. I don't think you shot that guy because you're a bad person. You didn't mean to kill that guy, okay? What happened was
Oh, the good old trying to get on his side type deal, bro. It does work. It does work.
you were just trying to snatch his backpack. He started fighting with you, and you got scared.
So y'all saying I shot
I
someone?
know you shot somebody.
Imagine you're an 18-year-old kid who got in over their head and ended up shooting and killing an innocent civilian. No matter who you are, you'll be feeling scared.
I know, right? He's like, dang, bro, I'm in serious trouble. I can't leave this room. It's not like any other place, like, in my life ever. You know what I mean? I've been in that situation, guys.
Feeling that'll only be amplified when a police officer asserts
He didn't know the extent of his crimes.
that they know exactly what happened. Wilcox will be feeling rattled now. As the cop talks, he's slumped over in his chair, implying he's interested in what the cop is saying, and as soon as he's allowed to talk, all his responses sound confused and even bewildered. The cop knows he has him on the back foot. Now he just needs to close it out.
You're 18, right? You're 18, yes?
Yeah.
This is where you need to stand up and be a man and admit you made a mistake. I know you weren't trying to kill that guy. I know that, because you're not the kind of guy that does that. You panicked. You got
Dang, bro.
scared. You got in over your head. The victim's making you out to be a stone cold, just straight up thug killer. Guy that doesn't give a crap about anybody else.
Since when did the victim say that, bro? It sucks though, man. Sucks to see this. You know, he's going to prison, man. At that young, bro, he barely didn't even have a chance to like try to get a job or nothing, basically.
All right.
I could have stayed big late for
If
this shit, man.
if you keep going down the path you're going down, telling me you didn't have anything to do with it, it's not you, who are people going to believe? Are they going to believe you, or are they going to believe the victim?
Oops.
They're going to have to believe the victim because you didn't give me your side of the story.
Wilcox is being pushed into a corner. The detective is using the facts that he knows Wilcox is just in over his head, but is using language in such a way that makes him feel like he's accused of being this cold-blooded monster. His reactions to this prove just how well this technique is working. He stares at the ground, implying shame, and rubs his head in a pacifying behavior.
Yeah, when they're covering their face like that, it's like, you know, they're definitely in a stress kind of mood.
That shows how stressed he is.
I used to study body language a lot, guys. Used to want to be an expert. I stopped studying it so hard though.
A guy that sits there like you is not a guy that goes around and kills people. You understand what I'm saying? You have remorse. You're sorry. I can see it on you. You just need to take that next step. What happened in that parking lot? Did you guys plan it? Or did it just happen?
Trying to back.
Huh?
Ain't trying to back. No,
I can't. What'd you say?
Hey, bro, it makes me feel like he's feeling remorse here, guys.
Ain't trying to go back to jail.
Don't, here, remember how we talked about that? Don't think about that.
Man, it's a tough job to be a detective. Like, letting him know this, man. Like, it's not like not like he did anything good here, but still.
That's the least of your concerns right now.
In a breakdown that's far from gangster, Wilcox starts to cry and laments on how he absolutely can't go back to jail. The detective uses this moment of vulnerability to press him further and tells him he has one last opportunity to be honest and let everybody know that he isn't the monster they think he is.
Do you say, stop hitting me or I'm going to shoot you? Anything like that?
I was like, I had my hand like right here.
No, you had your left hand like up against him?
Yeah.
Trying to push him away?
I was trying to make him stop hitting me.
Where was the gun?
In my pocket.
Which pocket?
This one.
How many times did you shoot? What happened after you pulled the trigger? Did he fall down or
No,
was he was still standing up? Where'd you hit him?
I didn't even know I hit him.
Okay. So you fired that one round. What happened?
It froze up.
You just froze up?
And just like that, Tavian Wilcox confessed to shooting Conrad Tohan and was sentenced to life in prison, all over a school bag. But while he'll be spending
Dang, bro, he's probably gonna serve. He's not gonna serve the whole term, probably, unless keeps getting in trouble in there, guys.
the rest of his life
But yeah, probably gonna be a while before he gets out, like 30 years or so.
in prison, Demetrius Cox wasn't so lucky. Throughout the beginning of 2020, a war between rival gangs 438 and AF-NF began to break out.
Oh, rivalries never sound like a good deal here, man.
Many shootings were reported with dozens of deaths attributed to just these two
Dozens, bro.
gangs, with one of these occurring on the 14th of April. Shots were fired at a house party in Davenport, Florida, resulting in the death of 20-year-old Wolf Luma. The killer was identified almost immediately as Demetrius Cox, also 20 years old. 2 weeks later, Cox was brought in on the suspicion of murder, and an interrogation began, ending in one of the most shocking moments in interrogation history.
Dang, dude.
Sure, I do.
You can say Mary?
I can. And I didn't shake your hand before because we weren't able to, but now we can,
Everything's
right?
open and closed.
Yes, sir.
That's a major friendly of a handshake, bro. It's like they're friends.
Number one, I gotta tell you, I'm pretty impressed of the way just overall, your persona as it is.
Yes, sir.
So I appreciate the respect. It's gonna be given right back to you, okay?
Okay.
Cox starts the interrogation out respectfully, but as the interview continues, he starts to annoy the detective by withholding information that could get members of his gang into trouble. This type of loyalty is extremely common in these types of cases, but can prove to work against you, as is seen just a few minutes later.
I'm not saying you went there for the wrong reasons. However, man, I tell you one thing. You know how they say like victims, and suspects, things like that? I thought that you were a victim.
Sure I am, but now y'all make it like I'm a suspect.
No. I thought
Now the detective's beginning to, you know, flip his story. So he played along for a while.
I thought you were a victim, and I thought that you were going to give us the justification, the explanation for what happened. But you come in here and you can't even with little details like that. Like, who cares? If Papa Jay's there, why can't you just be honest and say, yeah, he was there? He was chilling.
We hung out.
But
I got another question
what's
for you.
so like hard about the truth?
What's interesting about this case, though, is that the cop actually isn't 100% sure that Cox is the killer. As Cox mentions earlier, most of the evidence in the case is hearsay, and detectives
Dang, bro. He's got to get to the bottom of this then.
could have a hard time using it in court. This is why Cox is here in the first place. If they could extract a confession, it'd make their lives a whole lot easier. But Cox isn't budging.
Interrogation is seems to be one of the best ways to find out these things, right, guys?
Okay, listen. If you want to tell me what happened, I'm all ears, man.
I just tried to tell you what happened.
Look at me in my face. Look at me in my face.
You not.
If you tell me the truth, I will believe you. But there's an explanation for what happened.
So you trying to say I'm the explanation or something? That's what I'm asking.
It's like you're hearing me, but you're not listening to me. Listen to me.
I'm listening to you, but you're not letting me. You gotta break it down for me. Please just break it down.
Listen to me. Okay. I think that you might have been a victim. But I cannot believe a victim when they leave little things out, little details about that night.
Well,
okay?
Mister, I told you all I know.
Some bad happened, man. Some bad.
I understand what
and
you're
I don't
saying.
think that you forced it. I don't think that you
So still being on his side here,
or
guys.
your buddies or anybody else, well, maybe you're running your mouth a little bit, but it wasn't justified what happened, okay?
Eventually, the detective decides that he's not going to get anything else out of Cox and calls off the interrogation. But that's not where the case ends. In fact, the most interesting but tragic part happened just hours after the interrogation was held. Later that day, Cox was released on bail, but 11 hours later, he was shot and killed by another gang member. Meaning, if he had actually confessed, he just might have spared his own life, even if it was spending that life in prison. But while
Dang, bro. They set his bail and everything, huh? They let him get out, basically, because they set a bail.
Cox may have kept it together in his interrogation and preserved his gangster image, the same cannot be said for Cody Forencam, a gangster whose crime was littered with errors and stupidity from the very start.
Gotta see this story, man.
After his phone was stolen at a convenience store, Cody went on a tyrannical rampage around his area looking for any signs of the stolen device.
Guys, one time I left my wallet at like a convenience store, and it was thankfully in the parking lot on the floor, bro. I had $100 in there, my ID, everything, man.
Surveillance footage captured him walking past 15-year-old Deshaun Hills, pulling a gun from his backpack and firing 3 shots at the boy, killing him instantly. Witnesses
Dude, why?
surveillance footage helped police identify Cody almost immediately, and he was quickly brought in for interrogation.
Didn't even know if he did it, guys.
Like I said, I ain't, you know, what I just did was the people yesterday, these motherfuckers was able to do this to me. They was able to look at.
Okay. I'll take a look at this in a second.
I'm saying, look how they do me.
Okay.
Look how they do me. They just kicked my mom's door open, man.
Oh, this is the guy that's a gangster, right?
Take your mom's door open.
Yeah, they did, man.
No,
I was on the phone, man, with somebody while it happened, man.
We were there. We were there at your mom.
Come on, man. I said, like I said, man, I ain't about that.
Okay,
I don't gang bang. I don't do, you know what I mean? I ain't with the guns.
Cody here is referring to a search warrant that was used by police to gain access to his mother's house and collect evidence. While his anger about this is likely from a place of truth, he's also using it as a way to try and argue his innocence. This is also backed up by the fact that he immediately tells the cop that he has nothing to do with gang activity or guns. But it won't take long for this facade to fall apart.
We're here because you're involved with this murder. You've told people.
Oh, this guy's self-snitching now? I'm getting a little bit too proud of what he did, it seems.
That's why you're here. That's why you're not in Minneapolis. Okay? We have talked to people, all right,
Man, check it out.
that have put you there at the scene. There's video of you at the scene. The whole time. Okay?
He's thinking in his head, dang, I'm screwed.
We know why you're there.
I ain't lying, man.
You're not buying it. I'm not here to lie to you, though. Why would I lie to you?
I ain't buying it.
You're on video. Okay, people are talking to you. You're talking to them.
That nervous water drink. He just looks guilty, guys.
Okay?
You approach people and talk to them.
On the evening of the murder, Cody had been walking around the area asking people if they saw the person that took his phone and aggressively confronting people that he suspected. He was also clearly seen on surveillance footage at multiple stores and businesses in the Minneapolis area, so any arguments he has here that he was elsewhere are completely invalid.
Dang, bro. You could have used Find My Phone and found out where it is.
Like I said, I ain't like I said.
Cody, all we're trying to
I don't know it
do.
all.
I'm not sure if this was before Find My Phone was a thing, though.
Here's the thing.
Y'all know it all.
Can I just say something? If I was sitting in your chair and I had.
Dude, I got mercy, dude.
Hold on a
I
second.
got mercy, dude.
Hold on.
Look at this shit.
Sit down.
Look at this shit.
Sit down.
Look at this shit.
Yep, sit down.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, hey,
Just sit
really,
down for
I
one-
don't even want, like,
Here's
I'm
one
so
thing.
fucking mad.
One thing. Hold on.
Got the jail outfit on already, guys. He knows what's going down.
I'm fucking mad right now. No, I was supposed to ERT, ooh. Then y'all started talking about some goofy shit that I don't
Goofy?
know about.
It's a murder.
Some goofy shit.
It's a murder.
Some goofy shit. Like I ain't there.
Well, here's what I'm going to say, just before we go, okay? Was that if I was sitting in your chair and I had two people ask me where I was on a specific day, and they're saying that I did a murder.
That's what Durfee did with me just yesterday.
I'm not talking about Durfee.
I'm saying if you ask me what I ate for dinner, I might not remember.
Also take a look at Cody's language and demeanor in general. Right from the start, he's been defensive and attempting to combat every single thing the detectives have said to him. Instead of respectfully listening to their points and trying to give counters to the cops' evidence, he either talks over them or just says, "I don't believe you,"
And that just sounds like a guilty person to me.
and fails to give any evidence in his defense. If Cody was innocent, he'd likely be doing everything
Is it really? Thank you, Mike.
he can to stay on the cops' good side and help them out by providing evidence that would acquit him. And as it turns out, he was about to start providing evidence. Evidence that would send him straight to jail.
Oh, you was at Wally's and boom, 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 boom.
You were by Wally's,
I
absolutely.
was by Wally's.
You were?
But y'all don't know the story.
Well, tell me.
The motherfucker supposed to be in the motherfucking face, stole my phone, all that stupid shit. That don't mean I pulled the motherfucking trigger. Just because some people say some shit, that's what it is. That's what it is. So y'all gonna go with the fuck you here anyway. I was over at the store, and I got fucking my. That's what that was.
All over a phone, guys, man. I would just took the L, bro. I would have not. It's just a phone, guys. Like, he didn't have to take a life over it, man. That was the biggest mess up of the situation that he made.
Who jumped you?
I don't, like I said, I don't know. That don't make me no murder. I called my big cousin. My big cousin come get me. What it look like? I said, one was, I don't, nothing came of it. You act like, can I pull the trigger on somebody?
When did you get jumped, or when did you get your stuff robbed?
He just sounds like somebody that's a gangster, right, guys? He's got like the demeanor. Not sure if he grew up in that type of neighborhood or something, but.
So somebody jumped you for your phone, right? Did they get anything else from you? Or did you have money? Did you have
ID? Man, check it out. Argue with tomorrow.
In an outburst of more anger, Cody has just put himself right next to the scene of the crime and given the officers a motive for the murder. For the next 4 minutes, Cody scrambled to get himself out of the hole he just dug himself into. But it was already too late. With the evidence they already had, plus what essentially amounted to a full confession, Cody was found guilty of murder and sentenced to 38 years behind bars.
Dang, bro. He's taking out. Let's see the comments here. There have been every time I look at gangsters as anything other than sad, broken people trying to cover it up by acting tough. When the detective said, "I know you're a bad guy, but you maybe are in the wrong place at the wrong time." I know that was a good quote. You know you're done. I can't go back to jail. Don't think about that. At least your concerns. No, I'm sure. Pretty sure he has his concerns figured out correctly. Yeah, thanks, bro. I'm an ex-Australian bike police officer. I've seen the same members of bike gangs. Once you isolate them, they go to jelly and start bawling. You need to go around in groups and dress like clowns to be tough. Alright, guys, that's a. Oh wait, one more. Stupidity is by order of magnitude far more terrifying than everyday criminals. Alright, guys, check out the original video in the description. See you guys next one later.